Imagine staring into a pitch-black tree line, knowing something is there, but seeing absolutely nothing. Why let the darkness dictate your success? Welcome back! Today we're revealing the thermal tech that turns midnight into high noon clarity. Grab these game changers through the links below. The number 5 product on our list is ATN Thor 4 Smart HD Thermal Riflescope. Pitch black woods have a way of making even experienced hunters feel blind, uncertain, and one bad decision away from missing the moment completely. That tension changes fast once this optic powers on. The ATN Thor 4 feels less like a traditional thermal riflescope and more like carrying a compact command center into the field. The ultra-sensitive thermal sensor immediately reveals heat signatures with startling clarity, even in conditions where ordinary night optics completely collapse. Distant movement becomes readable. Shapes separate from darkness. Confidence returns. What makes this setup especially appealing for newer thermal users is how much guesswork it removes. The built-in ballistic calculator handles range, wind, angle, humidity, and temperature adjustments in real time, helping shooters focus more on positioning and less on complicated math under pressure. Then comes one of the smartest features: recoil-activated video. Instead of fumbling with buttons during critical moments, the scope automatically captures the shot sequence while you stay locked on target. The massive battery life also matters more than most people expect. 18+ hours of operation means fewer interruptions during long night hunts or predator control sessions. Compared with simpler thermal optics, this system is undeniably more advanced and takes time to fully master, but the reward is a dramatically smarter shooting experience. Once the landscape turns completely dark and the sensor still cuts through it effortlessly, ordinary optics suddenly feel outdated. At number 4 is Pulsar Trail LRF Thermal Riflescope. There is a strange moment during night hunting when the woods go silent, your flashlight becomes useless, and suddenly every shadow starts feeling alive. That is exactly where this optic takes control of the situation. The Pulsar Trail LRF transforms darkness into readable terrain with startling precision, turning distant heat signatures into clear, trackable targets, even beyond ranges most shooters would never expect from thermal imaging. The integrated laser rangefinder changes the entire rhythm of long-range shooting because guessing distance in the dark is where confidence usually collapses. Here, the scope delivers yardage data almost instantly, helping shooters make cleaner decisions without hesitation. The image quality also deserves attention. The AMOLED display and advanced thermal sensor reveal movement, body shape, and environmental detail with a level of sharpness that feels almost unreal during cold nighttime conditions. Hunters who regularly track predators, hogs, or distant game will appreciate how naturally the scope blends detection, ranging, and recording into one streamlined experience. Built-in video capture and Wi-Fi connectivity add another layer, especially for shooters who enjoy reviewing shots or sharing footage later. Compared with entry-level thermal scopes, this system feels dramatically more refined and information-rich, though the technology can feel overwhelming for casual users at first. Once you watch a heat signature emerge clearly from complete darkness at extreme range, ordinary optics stop feeling like serious tools anymore. The third one on our list is Goyojo GRL Series Thermal Riflescope. Most hunters never forget the first time they spot movement through a thermal scope that the naked eye could not detect at all. It feels almost unfair. The Goyojo GRL series creates that exact experience from the moment the display lights up. Heat signatures appear sharp, layered, and surprisingly detailed, even across rough terrain and deep darkness, where ordinary optics completely lose control. The 384 by 288 thermal sensor, paired with the crisp OLED display, gives this riflescope a clean, readable image that feels especially useful during predator hunting, night tracking, or long-range scanning sessions. One frustration many shooters face with thermal optics is motion blur when targets move quickly. That smoother 55 Hz refresh rate solves much of that problem by keeping movement fluid and easier to follow without the image feeling choppy or delayed. Then the smart features start revealing themselves. The AI image enhancement quietly sharpens edges and improves thermal contrast automatically, helping targets stand out naturally instead of forcing constant manual adjustments. The recoil-activated recording system also makes a huge difference for hunters reviewing shot placement or sharing footage later through the mobile app connection. Compared with basic thermal scopes, this setup feels more intelligent and adaptable, though the feature-heavy interface may take a little patience during the first outings. Once the environment turns pitch black and the thermal image still feels alive with detail, ordinary nighttime hunting suddenly starts feeling primitive. On number 2 is AGM Rattler TS 35-384 Thermal Riflescope. Fog, rain, pitch darkness. Those are the moments when ordinary optics stop being useful, and every sound in the distance suddenly feels bigger than it should. The AGM Rattler TS 35-384 thrives exactly in those conditions. This thermal riflescope delivers the kind of visual clarity that instantly changes how hunters approach nighttime tracking and predator control. Heat signatures cut through bad weather with impressive sharpness, and the high-sensitivity thermal sensor keeps targets visible even when visibility completely collapses for traditional scopes. One of the biggest frustrations with lower-end thermal gear is noisy, muddy imaging that makes distant movement difficult to identify. The advanced image processing inside the Rattler smooths much of that out. Details appear cleaner, movement feels more natural, and the OLED display keeps the viewing experience crisp without overwhelming your eyes during long scanning sessions. The built-in Wi-Fi streaming and recording system also adds a modern edge, especially for hunters who like reviewing shots or sharing footage from the field later. Battery life is respectable on its own, but the option to connect an external power bank becomes extremely useful during extended nighttime hunts. Compared with ultra-premium thermal optics, this setup may not deliver the same extreme range performance, but it balances capability, durability, and usability in a way that feels approachable for serious hunters entering the thermal world. Once the darkness stops feeling like a disadvantage, the entire hunt starts changing shape. Now moving to the last one is AGM Rattler TS 25-384 Thermal Riflescope. The first time you spot movement through freezing fog, while everyone else sees nothing but darkness, you realize thermal optics are playing a completely different game. Built for hunters who refuse to quit when daylight disappears, this compact thermal riflescope turns chaos into clarity with surprisingly sharp heat detection and a vivid OLED display that keeps targets visible through rain, brush, and cold night air. One of the biggest frustrations with entry-level thermal gear is blurry imaging during movement, especially when tracking coyotes or hogs at distance. That is where the AGM Rattler TS 25-384 starts separating itself. Adaptive image processing smooths the picture naturally, while the 8x digital zoom helps you identify heat signatures without the grainy mess many lower-tier scopes struggle with. The onboard Wi-Fi streaming and video recording also add a modern layer that serious nighttime hunters appreciate after long field sessions. Battery life lands in a practical range, and the option to connect a USB-C power bank makes extended hunts far less stressful. Compared with bulkier premium thermal scopes, this model feels more compact and approachable without sacrificing the rugged, waterproof construction hunters actually need outdoors. It is especially ideal for predator hunters, ranchers, and shooters stepping into thermal technology for the first time. Suddenly, darkness feels less like a limitation and more like an advantage waiting to be used. So guys, this was the video about the best thermal riflescope. We've carefully covered some of the best options available right now to help you make a smarter and more confident decision. Whether you're looking for performance, durability, value for money, or the latest features, this guide was designed to give you a clear and practical overview so you can pick what truly fits your needs. If any of the products we mentioned caught your interest, you'll find all the links conveniently placed in the dollar description below. Make sure to check them out for more details, updated pricing, and availability. Taking a moment to explore those links can really help you choose the right option without any confusion. If you found this video helpful or enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit the like button. Your support means a lot and helps us keep creating more useful and high-quality videos for you. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest uploads. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.